Pow Wow, yo, yippee, yay, guys. Power number 23, and I'm super excited to be with you guys. Last week, we had one of a hell of a powwow talking about a lot of people, what are the values and how we could grow as an ecosystem. At SwissBorg, it was really cool to see all these beautiful faces in Barcelona. Now we're back into business, and today's content is going to talk about a bit about the Keynote, all alpha opportunities, the launch of a new way to do cross-chain to be able to finally be the safest bridge in the market, and talk about a lot of new cool stuff on SwissBorg. As you guys know, my name is Cyrus Fazel. I'm the proud founder of SwissBorg, always here to serve you. And big thanks to CryptoCG here. As you can see, it's another wonderful shirt, a super cool one. I know there's some games on Twitter to win this one. There's a Superman one, there's a Son Goku one, there is a Mickey Mouse one, and there's really, really cool ones which have different things, different sayings. This one, the future is bright, we are heroes. And by the way, we'll talk about the hero score. Question of the week, why not about to include CHSB in the hard money? Why about not to include, CHSB in the hard money, but to require premium users? I think so we're trying to get to this model more and more, like really trying to cherish the best of our users and our community members by the premium tiers. So I love the idea, Victor. Thank you very much for asking that one. Talking about lovely community members, I just wanted to shout out and congratulations for the Zilly May competition. As you guys know, every month we have different quests that could be done out of the app and really enable to grow our community, have fun in the open world of SwissBorg, and to just deliver a lot of cool quests on Twitter, on Discord, and others. And for that, well, there was almost equivalent of $2,000 to be shared. And that was done by different people. So, Arakin, well, congratulations. You're definitely very competitive, not for no reason that you represent XBorg as well. Ashen Kraft as well. Strabik7 and April Zoe, congratulations for the four of you. And of course, the other list, I will name everyone there, but you guys have done great work as well. Now there's going to be a last competition this month. So looking forward to see more Borgers enjoy and earn at the same time. Talking about community, of course, the community events is one of the most important ones. We will have one tomorrow night at EHL. That's a free event. I'm going to talk about Web3 in general. Then we're talking about the markets with Knut, an influencer that is really smart and sharp. The third vertical will really be about essentially NFT and wine. Interstellar, a fantastic project. They're actually in our office today and talking about how NFTs could have real utilities by building not only your virtual, wine cave, but as well being able to consume that in the best way possible or to trade it. And I think this is a really good utility that our dear friends at Interstellar or Wine Bottle Club have. This tomorrow night we'll have as well the Guardians CHSB session 2, talking about more in details of the burn and the protect and the fact of how it has been chosen. So this is really good. Next week we'll have a meetup in Fribourg with, of course, our dear and wonderful cryptophile. And last but not least, again, please note on your agenda. On the 20th, I think so, it's almost sold out. If you don't have tickets, I'm sorry. I think so, we got almost at capacity. And we still have some space, though, in Zurich, which will be in French in Lausanne, and we'll have it in German and in English in Zurich. So hope to see all of you guys there. News of the week, essentially, it's FUD. Long story short, the SEC is trying to bring down Binance in a big matter, but not only the SEC, but most regulators, as Binance has sometimes done things that the regulators wanted more scrutiny, more clarity. But at the same time, there's a big battle as well, the SEC versus Coinbase, that's trying to see that, long story short, you've been proposing staking services, and those are regulated activities. So for that reason, if you are dealing with securities, you should have a broker-dealer license whatsoever. All of this to essentially bring down these different companies to pay fines or to just spread some FUD. The great quote about that is that essentially SwissBorg We are currently applying for a security broker-dealer license in Europe that will enable us to serve all the different user base that we want if we will need to have those licenses, which is good. I think so. This is what we always trying to be, is to be proactive in order to essentially have a very open-end conversation with the regulators and make sure that we put all the best practices, rather doing that through SwissBorg solutions or in France and in different other countries. So I think so. This is definitely a good learning curve for people that are entering the crypto market, is that it's going to be more and more regulated, as we like it or not. It doesn't really matter. And I think so. This will bring better practices, better security eventually. It will be obviously more work, no doubt. But all in all, I think so. This is the right way to get to mass adoption. Market update, which is right now, obviously BTC is a bit low, is going a little bit down. We don't know if we're a 26 barrier, essentially support is going to be strong enough to keep it. If not, essentially, if we don't, it might go to see some lower lows and have maybe support around 20,000. Not sure where we're heading. Obviously, this is a time where the volatility is extremely low. We've been repeating this multiple times. And when volatility is very low with some FUD, right, as we're seeing it, it could be a good time essentially to break those supports. But then at the same time, as you guys know, sometimes the market does play a contrarian move. And in that case, things could go essentially on the positive side. Which is quite interesting right now is that the short-term holders, though, is that 60% are in the profits. So if you look at the lately, so a lot of people have been accumulating a Bitcoin, let's say, for probably since December or November. So most of the people are actually in the profit, which is nice. And that's essentially what it is. It's a good signal of having at least a good spiritual mind behind it. If you look at the on-chain analysis. So that's what is today. So let's please follow in the next few hours to few days. If that 26,000 keeps, if it doesn't, then probably we'll go down and we'll suffer a bit, unfortunately. Multi-chain is finally here. The bridge, the one that is secure, the one that is safe, the one that is very easy to play. And I think so now we're all very excited about that. Now, any person that has the app could look at, for example, his USD account. And within this USD account, back then, you would only be able to essentially get anything in Ethereum, right? And the thing about Ethereum is that it's obviously very gas consumptive. Right now, you could actually, for example, receive tokens in Polygon. And therefore, you will have a very small on-chain transaction done. And in the other cases that back then you couldn't send $1, for example, to someone because it would be impossible with Ethereum. Right now, you could send a very small amount, like $2, $3, to any of the one you want through Avalanche or through essentially Polygon, and that's done in a few seconds. And more importantly, that is done in the most secure way possible. We finally built the bridge that is safe for anyone to use in the best way possible. And I think so. This is something that matters a lot. Through Wormhole and many other different hacks, the biggest hacks that have happened to crypto in the last 3 years essentially are decentralized bridge. With bringing a centralized bridge that is convenient as with SwissBorg, I think so. This is a tremendous, strong use cases for people that essentially will start to get into the payment, people that essentially want to go into DeFi, and essentially people that just are, caring about not having very high costs for withdrawals or with incoming payments within the app. So I think so. This is definitely a great thing. On top of that, if you have sent your USDC, for example, with Avalanche or for example, with Polygon, you now could retrieve them in a very easy way possible. And I think so we'll be adding more and more different tokens to have essentially different bridges, and as well to bring more native tokens, like for example, Polygon or for example, Binance Smart Chain, for example, going forward. So I think so. This is really, really cool. This is a great feature. It could finally bring a really safe, simple way and a secure way to essentially bridge your best assets with starting with USDC for the payments and for DeFi and whatever you feel like. I think so. This is something that's been anticipated for a long time. I've been using already for 2 months. I know I tweeted about that and people are still trying to figure out what it is. So this is what it is. And I hope you guys really enjoy it. So please comment, give us feedback. What do you think should be done in the future? Results of the Guardians, another great meritocratic and at the same time democratic process. As of Sunday of 28, we had 6,000 more Guardians that participated in the Protect and Choose. The results was 1/3 went to Burn, Reward at 44%, which is quite high, and Safety Net went to 21%, which is really, really good. If you want to essentially be able to understand, what's the calculus, how it's based, is based on your rate and the voting power. So you should multiply essentially your number of tokens by 0.001134. So the great thing is that tomorrow, Benji and Danny will be talking about this in the town hall through Discord to know more about what it was. In terms of voting of what was your favorite thematics, the winner is hard money, which is a tactical way to switch between Bitcoin and to a gold on a systematic way, and how to really profit via different trends, and really how to fight inflation, fight the dollar, the de-dollarization, and to really invest into something that has been used for all the time, gold, and as well to invest into the new digital gold, which is Bitcoin. I think so. This is a beautiful, essentially, way to play the anti-crisis mode in the best way possible. Talking about apps and about votes and other things, we have probably received this for partners. 16,676 partners have essentially, you have to vote on yes or no to the approval of the management report, of the annual accounts, discharge of the members of the board of directors, election of the members of the board of directors. So this is the new way for you guys to essentially participate in the really high end topics of the governance of SwissBorg. So this is something brand new, something that is going to grow with us and make you responsible as well. And I think so this is a very transparent way that none other company has essentially achieved this, and it's only the beginning. Wanted to give you a small update as well regarding our lovely hero score. I think so this is something that's really, really well done. Obviously, it's been complicated. We have been able to essentially build this application, this new way to meritocratically earn CHSB, and as well have a lot of benefits. And I think so this is something that resonates a lot to few people now, but eventually is how we're going to reshape this entire wealth management industry and this Web3 industry, is how to really provide the best opportunities for our heroes. And for that, which is great, we'll have finally a program page is live on our website. You could check it out. You could opt in as well for every community member, which is really, really important. You will be able to finally reset your penalty points. So if you sold CHSB, for example, if you buy back CHSB, you could reset that, which is really good. I know some people are a little bit off, and they go, okay, I'm not able to progress every day. And I think so what is very, very important is that going forward, we really need to revamp this. This was definitely a try with a small amount of people, of course. And we need to nurture and get your feedback more and more. There's a survey that really helped us to simplify this, to make this process just more understandable. Obviously, in the app will be a much better way. We got a lot of great feedback. So I'm extremely proud of this. And for those who think that this is just a game, well, actually, very lucky people were able to participate in the best way just this morning, thanks to the hero score. So I think so this is very important. And thanks to Boulon for talking about that, is that the hero score essentially has replaced this passive income yield that was provided to users in the past. And I think so this is exactly where we're leaning towards, is how essentially you could extract more value with the hero score in the yield, in the rewards, but as well as, of course, building the healthy patterns that makes you become wealthy. And that helps as well yourself and eventually the community, because, helping yourself in the life, it's their first bet to get to financial independence, but then is to help the others. And that's, for example, my journey and my mission, right? And I think so it really is in general something that's important. But back to Bolon, I think so which was great here is to really understand that he now is earning more CHSB through the hero score than any else. And then you talk to XBorg and other different people that this morning they got to Block Green's 50 BTC. The 50 BTC were reserved for the people that had a very high, essentially hero score. And obviously there's other people that, but based on their premium levels, that got, the chance to participate in this. And so this is something that's very meritocratic, essentially, is how to give the best experience to those people that are essentially providing the really active people that are doing the right steps, that are protecting the CHSB, that are doing really the best, and therefore are getting rewarded in CHSB, but as well the best deals. And a lot of people are saying, yeah, but Cyrus, I can't spend so much time on the app because I'm super busy. It's the same for me. I didn't participate in BTC Block Green. And the sad thing about the story is that I brought Block Green to SwissBorg because the founder is a friend of mine. So this is how this is. And right now my BTC is not doing anything. So at the end, this is very meritocratic. It's like, well, I didn't, maybe my hero score was not high enough, or I just didn't get the time for that. But worst case scenario, it doesn't matter. Is that what I do know is that we'll have more opportunities. But for sure, we will favor those who are contributing in the best way possible. So I think so. This is something that's very important. Earlier on, we had May talks with the people that are, really constrained. And if we get to the next slide, it goes to quite the same thing, right? Which is that XBorg, well, they had a lot of vaults decentralized, and then through SwissBorg as well, we had different vaults. There was 4 vaults in total, $700,000 of investments that was done through the app, and I think so 1.3 that was done through their launchpad. And so total they raised $2 million in the span of that, maybe short 2 weeks, which is amazing, by the way. Is that, well, you had to be fast. You had to be able to get it. You had to have as well become premium or partners vault. There was not yet the hero score, or we put the hero score at the last vault, I think so. But not sure about that. And I think so, well, some people are very frustrated, but almost 1,400 investors were able to get into it, which I think so is still really, really good. 90% of investors investing only in one vault. So some people were able to do 2 vaults and 1 user, by the way, which I don't know who you are because I can't check data. Congratulations. Félicitations à toi. You did invest in every vault possible. Probably for the faith of it, you should probably earn something top. We should put you in a special, you're probably faster than anyone else, or I don't know, your IP connection is probably very close to Ireland or whatever, because our servers go through Ireland. So $570 in total. So you just really did it. You could have done it in 1 vault, but you did it for 4, which I think this is really cool, by the way. And I think so this is what we're thinking is how can we make this a better experience? Obviously, size does matter. And if we had a bigger size, well, I'm sure we could have filled this up in a different way. But if you look at the breakdown here, it's that one of the biggest group of people are actually coming from community. Then the Genesis, still a very big amount, generation as well, 269, 155 pioneer, standard actually 138 people, which was quite crazy, and Explorer 136. So total investments, let's see, in all of those, if you gather them together, you could see that there's just a very small amount of people that invested less than $100. I think so this was probably just to test out, so it's less than 100 people. Mostly the people invested between $100 and $500, so you see 800 people doing that. So more than half of people invested less than $500. Then there was between $500 and $1,000, there was a little bit over 250, between 1,000 and 2,000, there was less than 200, and then over $2,000, there was only a little bit less than 100 people. So it really was very democratic, like we like to do it at SwissBorg. We're trying to figure out going forward, how can we make this for our super premiums? How can we make this even a better way? Like you could have maybe a committed whitelist for these different vaults. So this is what we're trying to think about, how we could, as obviously, put the SwissBorg token in the center of this, maybe creating a premium tier. or maybe a premium like app. Try to figure out how it is. If you have any ideas here to make this better, please do so. I know at the end, a lot of people were still, frustrated because you got in the queue, you did your transaction, but it didn't go through because essentially it was too late. This is how the queuing system was built. It's the first time we're doing this. So obviously we'll try to get better and better by doing it, but the alpha opportunities are really something great, and I'm looking forward to see more of those. CHSB in data, pretty much stable-ish, a little bit less than 250, unfortunately, on around at 300 premium. And we have now 212 million CHSB stake, which is great. Which brings us to community index, which is low. 1 point, the lowest one we ever got, but 1.8. I know why we got 1 point. We looked into the numbers, and a lot of app activity was based as well on the rewards CHSB. So we are going to modify this. So it's mean the last 4 or 5 different community index the score was lower than it should have been. Nevertheless, we're definitely not living the best times. Overall, the volume, the markets not moving being sideways doesn't help a lot. But a lot of things being built, a lot of investments being made. And that's what I like the most, is how to build those healthy habits, become wealthy. So congrats for that. And for those who are watching, listening, please make some noise. Share what we're doing right now. Guys, what can I tell you? I mean, DCA that's on with Auto Invest, the best healthy habits in order to get wealthy. The timing right now is to put, that daily, weekly, monthly budget that you want to buy your SwissBorg tokens, Ethereum, your Bitcoins, and all the different other tokens that you strongly believe in. I think so this is really the right time to do this. You will benefit from it. Don't forget, after the so-so times, there's always the okay times. And after the okay times, there's the good times. After the good times, there's the great times. And I don't want you guys to fall in that trap to invest in the exciting, crazy times, which most people do. It's right now that we build wealth. And it's when the exciting times, crazy times are there that you start to DCA in the other way, right? Or you start selling some of your crypto and you start, building it with maybe stable coins or even fiat, whatever you feel like. And I think so this is something that's very, very important. Obviously, the bridge 2.0, SwissBorg bringing the simple, safe, and secure way to finally bridge your assets, lower down the withdrawal fees, and be able to pay with whatever you want to go into DeFi, buy your favorite NFT tokens whatsoever. I think this is something that's very, very good. The hero score just growing and finally releasing these alpha votes for people. And of course, I regret that we don't have a sufficient size for XBorg or for Block Green, but overall, I think so this is something that's extremely, extremely scarce and of course hard to get. We will build more different ways to hopefully gamify, make the process even better and hopefully get, for those who really deserve it, an easier way to get into it. So as always, be healthy, be wealthy, love our CHSB and now our equity. Take care, guys. Bye.
Through SwissBorg, all assets will have a fiat gateway. And here is the thing.
Premium features gives you 0 fee trading.
It's an amazing fiat gateway.